The Zonal Office of the Federal Ministry of Environment in Lagos, on its part, focused on children and the impact their knowledge can make on the environment.
Why our focus is mainly on children is because we've seen that the older generation have disconnected, and it may not be easy to reconnect them back. But if we're able to catch these ones young and orientate them in the right way so that they don't just even get disconnected, it will be better for us. And then we know that children are better ambassadors and vanguard of, once they have a buy-in in something, you can be sure if their parents run foul of it, they will remind them. Even their teachers, they are not afraid to correct anyone once they believe in it. And so that's why we want to have their buy-in and orientate them so that they don't just get disconnected.
Environmentalists say the negative effect of abusing nature is already being experienced in Nigeria. They want everyone to do more.
We have said it in several fora that the internal security challenges we have in Nigeria, the Boko Haram incidents, militancy in the Niger Delta, are all climate change issues. The cattle rearer problem is also out of climate change issue. The cattle rearers moved down because there was no vegetation any longer in the north. Boko Haram incidents hit this country because the drying up of the Lake Chad. As the Lake Chad dried up, the youths did not have any jobs to do, so they were easy fodder to be recruited into an insurgent group. Therefore, these are the issues which we need to reverse. And all one can do is seize this opportunity to call on our National Assembly to appreciate these issues. We are not saying it for our own good, but for the good of the country. And budget sufficient money. It's unfortunate that we have to rely only on external funds now for us to implement something that will be to our own benefit. I agree that the budgeting process has put only very little money in the Ministry of Environment to tackle these issues. One can only use this opportunity to convince or to tell our National Assembly people who are in charge of the budgeting process to appreciate the value in putting sufficient money to attack environmental problems in this country.
The overarching message of the day is that if nothing was done to protect nature, it will take care of itself, but the cost will definitely be too much for man to bear.
My belief is that as people see more and more the seriousness of our negative actions against nature, against the environment, we will now start to address it more and more, that, hey, we need to be far more protective. We need to be part of nature and not apart from nature.
The Sahara Desert is becoming the biggest desert in the world. First, I don't think we Africans have learned to look after ourselves enough. I talked about tree felling and women and cooking. We are not doing tree planting seriously enough. And I think that what we can do is to empower the private sector to take up the tree planting, and maybe government or any other agency can then do the monitoring of this. And until we've started to do this, we are going to be having communal clashes, like I said, of herdsmen, of different people who are looking for, because they are looking for food. And this is the problem. And they don't even know that they are destroying the environment more. Because the more you have those cows grazing and destroying people's farms, they are creating hunger, they are creating environmental degradation, and so on.
Experts say we are at a key juncture in history where biodiversity loss is occurring daily and accelerating in the face of population growth, climate change, and rampant development. Simultaneously, we're just beginning to appreciate the wealth of human health benefits that stem from experiencing nature and biodiversity. In recent decades, scientific advances as well as growing environmental problems such as global warming are helping us to understand the countless ways in which natural systems support our own prosperity and well-being. For example, the world's oceans, forests and soils act as vast stores for greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane. Farmers and fisherfolk harness nature on land and on the water to provide us with food. Scientists develop medicines using genetic material drawn from the millions of species that make up Earth's astounding biological diversity. Billions of rural people around the world spend every working day connected to nature and appreciate full well their dependence on natural water supplies and how nature provides their livelihoods in the form of fertile soil. They are among the first to suffer when ecosystems are threatened, whether by pollution, climate change, or over-exploitation.
Billions of people, rural people around the world, spend every working day connected to nature and appreciate fully well their dependence on natural water supplies and how nature provides their livelihoods in the form of fertile soil. They are among the first to suffer when the ecosystems are threatened, whether by pollution, climatic change, or over-exploitation, which erodes precious biodiversity and threatens the survival of the elephants and other species. This year's theme, therefore, is in recognition of the growing need to protect the environment for common habitation of all and ecological interdependence.
Nature's gifts are often hard to value in monetary terms. Like clean air, they are often taken for granted, at least until they become scarce. However, economists are developing ways to measure the multi-trillion-dollar worth of many so-called ecosystem services, from insect pollinating fruit trees to the leisure, health, and spiritual benefits of hiking.